Hey, what's up? It's Kai Ellis with The Recording Journey, and I wanted to share a couple of thoughts with you from today's album from the playlist 1001 Albums You Must Hear Before You Die. Now, some albums on this list I have loved. Some albums I have not loved, but I get it. Only one album did I feel like, fuck this shit. Today's album is somewhere in between all of those. It was the Cockatoo Twins album called Treasure. And I'm not too familiar with the Cockatoo Twins, although I've heard a couple of things from them. I know of their existence, and I was glad to dive into this. And, after a bunch of albums in this list over the last few days from the 60s and the 70s, they have a very dry sound from those decades. The first thing that struck me about this album was just how much wet reverb there is. It's truly the sound of the 80s. The 80s is supremely the decade of reverb. And personally, I love it. I love the sound of this record, Treasure, so much that it overcame what were, for me, a lot of the weaknesses in the composition and the songwriting. For me, it had, to be fair, a lot in common with the one album off of this list that I just plain wish wasn't on it. That album was Destroy Rock and Roll, what seemed to me like a utterly pointless, totally bland and who gives a shit EDM record. Apologies to the people that made it. This album from the Cockatoo Twins, Treasure, it wasn't that bad, but it did feel a little aimless, a little undercomposed, and felt like most of the songs were kind of the idea of a song, a single phrase that was a really good idea and then just kind of repeated for 3.5 minutes. And, for most of the songs, I found myself kind of enjoying the idea, and then after a couple of minutes of just hearing it looped, just kind of feeling like, let's get on to the next thing. So I'm not mad or sad I listened to this record, but I will be very curious to find out if there are other stronger efforts from them that followed from this. I understand that the band themselves consider most of the songs on this album to be fairly underdeveloped. And all right, there was enough here that you had me intrigued. If you're fans of the Cockatoo Twins, or you at least know them better than me, and you feel like there's a song or an album that I really should give another chance, well, tell me where to go, because I'd like to dig into them. All right, peace.